Hey guys, so today the video I'm going to do is a little bit different. It's not the kind of video that I've done in the past, and don't expect this to become a regular thing on the channel, but I wanted to do a little fan casting, because I wanted to talk about this Uncharted movie. Now I've talked about the Uncharted movie in the past, mainly when that short film came out with Nathan Fillion. Everyone was like, ooh, is Nathan Fillion going to take over the role from Tom Holland? And the answer is no, because Sean Levy came out with a statement where he said, currently he's busy filming Stranger Things Season 3, which by all means, take your time with that. Don't want to rush that. I love that show. But after that's done, then if you look at Sean Levy's IMDb, he has a ton of projects on the horizon, but Uncharted is going to be the next project that he works on. And he says he's ready to start. He says that they're getting very, very close to being able to start shooting. And if that's the case, then I imagine we should start hearing announcements about other casting in the film pretty soon. So I want to talk a little bit about who else might be in this movie. Now, this is all 100% speculation, and it would be a miracle if any of the names that I mention end up being in Uncharted. But I'm excited, and I want to make sure that this movie is legitimately good. So I think with video game movies we always well, I'll talk about that later, because I have a special thing I'm saving for the end. But specifically, we've always been waiting for that good video game movie, and whereas Tomb Raider, I liked the game, but I acknowledged that there were a lot of problems in the game, and then the movie was just meh, so I wasn't hugely let down by the movie. Uncharted, though, I have big expectations. I want to see Nathan Drake and the other characters on the big screen, and if I am disappointed, ooh, I'm going to be very disappointed. They have to live up to my expectations of who these characters are. So, let's start with what we know. Tom Holland will be Nathan Drake. There is no doubt about that. There is nothing we can do. Now, I've heard a few different accounts on how this casting decision came to be made. I heard one person say that they saw an early draft of, like, basically one of the producers of Uncharted, the movie, saw an early cut of Spider-Man Homecoming and realized that Tom Holland was their Drake and basically wrote the movie to be around that. And keep in mind, they've been trying for a very long time to get this Uncharted screenplay done. So I take them without wording that the decision to do an Uncharted prequel was the best way to do it. And it actually does make sense to a certain extent. Because I don't want to see, I don't know about you, but I don't really think I want to see a shot-by-shot recreation of Drake's fortune. I mean, I think if you're going to do a movie, it does make sense to sort of tell a story within this universe, maybe bridge some of the gaps, because there are a lot of things about Nathan Drake's past that we still don't know, or the stuff that was at least talked about, and it would be nice to see it in full. So Tom Holland is Drake, we got that. Victor Sullivan. Okay, so Bryan Cranston is the name being floated around, and this has not been officially confirmed. They might pull the rug out from under us and announce someone else in the role. But can we just take a second to acknowledge the fact everyone's been focused solely on the Tom Holland debacle, and is Tom Holland the right choice? And I don't really think I've heard anyone say this, but Bryan Cranston as Victor Sullivan is a phenomenal casting decision. Like, boom, that instantly works for me. I can totally buy Cranston as the younger Sullivan. I can see him with Tom Holland. I can see that dynamic working and feeling like Nate and Sully, particularly the young Nate and Sully that we saw in the flashback. So I am 100% all for this casting decision, but just in case it's not finalized, because it was never officially confirmed. So just in case this doesn't fall through or Cranston turns the part down, um, who else could possibly play the role? Well, one name that's been floating around a lot is Bruce Campbell. Uh, Bruce Campbell, of course, known from the Evil Dead movies. I could see him in the role. He has kind of the right look. The one thing I'm concerned about is I don't know how good of a dramatic actor he is. He's known for being very big and over the top, and which Sully can occasionally be like that, I guess. But Sully also has his quieter moments, and I feel that an actor can show that. Another actor I could consider is Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon, we know him for his villain roles, obviously, but I'd be interested to see him play a good guy for once, and I think he's a great actor, and I think we all like him, so it'd be nice to see him step out of his comfort zone of playing villains. Now, a lot of people did like, who's the actor? Stephen Lang in the short film. A lot of people thought he did a good job as Sully. I personally always saw Robert De Niro in the role myself, but those actors, we can't really consider them because this is a younger Drake. And actually, that's true with all these characters that I'm going to look at. We might want to look at a younger version of them. We can't look at the characters how we might remember them from the game. We have to slightly take them a step down a bit. But then again, we don't know who's going to be in the movie. We're vaguely aware this is going to be a Nate Sully origin story, but we don't know who else is going to be in it. So Uncharted has a wide range of characters, and if there's one character from the games that I really hope makes an appearance in the movie, it's Samuel Drake. So Sam is Nathan's brother. He was introduced in Uncharted 4, and a lot of people thought his introduction was very jarring. It was clear that the writers of Naughty Dog hadn't really thought that far ahead, and they tried to retcon it and make it make sense within the universe of the game. So it'll be interesting to see an Uncharted story right from the very beginning acknowledge Sam's presence. But who could be Sam? My personal pick for the part would be Logan Lerman. Logan Lerman we know from Perks of Being a Wallflower, and I'm probably not much else. Percy Jackson. He is a very good actor, and he did a film a while back. I forget what it was called, but he has a very good accent in the game that matches young Sam's accent in the story. Indignation, that was the one I'm looking for. I just feel he has the right look. He can play a younger Sam. Other actors that I considered are Andrew Garfield. I wonder if he might be too big of a name to play a supporting part in this blockbuster. Plus, it would be kind of weird to have two Spider-Mans, but it could fit. It could fit. The other actor I tossed around was Jeremy Jordan. Jeremy Jordan, he's played similar parts in the past, and he can do it. Although personally, I think it's an absolute crime to cast Jeremy Jordan in something and not have him sing. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay, now for the big one, Elena Fisher. Now, a lot of you Uncharted fans are going to be like, but wait a minute, Nate and Elena didn't meet each other until the events of the first Uncharted game. Yes, but there's a chance they might change things around a bit. There's a chance they might change things around and have some other Uncharted characters appear a bit early on. And if they do, it would be great to see Elena again, but it would be a younger Elena. It would be a teenage Elena. And I toyed around with a few ideas who would make a great teenage Elena Fisher. And I have 3 really great actresses here that I would love to see the studio choose one of them. The first one is my current celebrity crush, Dove Cameron. Dove Cameron is a Disney Channel star known for Liv and Maddie and The Descendants. She is beautiful, but she was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She can kick butt, and she looks like a young Elena Fisher. I can see her as a young journalist, or young wannabe journalist, or high school students trying to be a journalist. Whatever they want to make her character, if they want to include her in the story, I can see her being perky, but like having some grip to her. What's interesting about Elena is that she is a lot more innocent than a number of characters in the story, but she still has a certain bite to her that's uniquely her own. I could see Dove Cameron playing that part. So another actor that I considered, if you want someone with a little bit more grit to her and less sparkle, is Liv Hewson. So Liv Hewson is on the show Santa Clarita Diet. She plays Drew Barrymore's daughter, and she is really great on that show. And this isn't a case where I watched the show and I'm like, who is that actress? She's really, really good. I legitimately want to see her get more work, and it would be great to see her in this role. I feel that she could play this character with a little bit of an edge to her. I don't know what, like, watch that show. She's also on a show called Drama World, and she has this great sass to her. I think she can play maybe the tougher side of Elena, but she can still have a little bit of that fun perkiness that makes the character that a lot of people love about the character. So the third actress that I considered is Kaitlyn Dever. So Kaitlyn Dever, she was in the Kathryn Bigelow film Detroit. She was in Short Term 12. She's done a number of things, Men, Women, and Children. But what's most interesting is that she was in Uncharted 4, the game. She did mocap for that game and everything. Spoiler alert for Uncharted 4, she has a very small role. She appears at the end as Nate and Elena's daughter. We see there's a flash forward to years in the future, and Elaine and Cassie is the character's name. It's great to see her character, and I think it would be really cool, if not a little bit confusing and universe bending, to see the actress who originated the role of Nathan's daughter suddenly playing the role of his love interest. That actually sounds creepy now that I say it out loud. But, I mean, okay, you know what I mean. It would be cool to see her because she's been in this universe before, and now she would be playing a different character. She'd be, moving up. I don't know, I think it'd be cool. And she is a recognizable actress, so it could work. So Dove Cameron, Liv Hewson, Kaitlyn Dever, those are the three actresses, and maybe a small shout out to Angourie Rice. She's also great. But I think a teenage Elena Fisher can totally work. I don't know if they'd have room for her in the movie, but I hope they do. So everyone else, I'm just going to spitball here. The main villain of Uncharted 1 is a character called Gabriel Roman, which for me, I always looked at this character and I saw Malcolm McDowell playing him. I don't know if the character is going to have a role in this movie, but if he does, it's totally plausible they'll just make up characters for this movie, and that's fine. There's no problem with that. But any characters that they include or make up, I don't know. If they include Gabriel Roman, it'll be good to see Malcolm McDowell. And then I just put it that I had to have 3 actors for each one. So John Cleese and Derek Jacobi are my 2 and 3. Good, respected British actors. That's who you want in this role. And there are 2 other villains in the first Uncharted game, Navarro and Raja. And I deliberately decided to not go over these roles, mainly because I don't know if the game ever explicitly states what nationality these 2 characters are, and I don't want to have a bunch of YouTube comments complaining that I chose an actor of the wrong nationality, although then again, it's also totally possible that the movie could still choose 2 actors of the wrong nationality. So, yeah, I'm just going to skip past those. We don't know if they're going to be in there, but yeah, to be safe, I probably shouldn't name anyone. So then let's talk about one of the most iconic characters in the Uncharted series, Chloe Fraser. So, I don't know if there is going to be a Chloe Fraser in the movie. I think the character in the game is part Indian, part British. She has a very distinct accent. And I think the British part is the part that people are most likely to relate to. So I would suggest the first person that came to mind, honestly, for this role is Emma Watson. And Emma Watson, I don't know if you want to go with someone younger, or but Emma Watson, I saw her in Perks of Being a Wallflower. She has this great bite to her, and I know that she can play She can play characters who aren't as sweet and innocent as Belle or Hermione, and I think it would be cool to see her take on this kind of role, to show that she can do more than a lot of people give her credit for. Another actress I considered is Emilia Clarke. I pretty much just looked on all the actors who turned down the role of Lara Croft in the new Tomb Raider movie, and I didn't put Alicia Vikander there because that would just be weird to have Nathan Drake and Lara Croft in the same movie. They're already similar enough. And in case we want an actress who's a little bit younger, or in case we want an actress who has a little bit of that Indian descent that's from the games, then maybe Naomi Scott. She's busy with Disney's live-action Aladdin, but I don't really know. I can't really think. I don't know if any of these actors are a great Chloe, because maybe we want someone just a little bit younger than Emma Watson, but I don't know. I'm curious to see what some of these actors could do. And one person I wanted to shout out from Uncharted, the later Uncharted games, Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy, introduced Nadine Ross, who is a great character, and it probably is a good idea to have a little bit of diversity in this movie, so just in case they want to have Nadine Ross show up early, I'm going to break my age rule for a second and say the person that I think would make a great Nadine Ross is Tandy Newton. I mean, just look at her. Tandy Newton, she's on Westworld, she was in Solo, a Star Wars story. She is a phenomenal actress, and I think it would be really great to see her take on the role. I think she's just such a perfect fit, in my opinion. Another actor that they could consider if they couldn't get her would be Lupita Nyongo, also a great actress. She's getting a lot of work, deservedly so. Tandy Newton is the person I go for. Just in case you want a Nadine who's a little bit closer to the age range, you might want to go with Amanda Stenberg. That's my third choice, but seriously, this one's Tandy Newton. And we have another role that has a very, very obvious frontrunner, just in case. So in the game, in the Uncharted 3 flashback that this movie is supposedly taking its source material from, there's the main villain of that game was Katherine Marlowe, who appears in the flashback, and she is a formidable foe, and in the movie, there's a chance she might be the villain of the movie. And, okay, you know what? I'm just going to show you a picture of Marlowe, and you tell me if she bears any resemblance to any famous Hollywood actress whatsoever.
Oh, and look, there's that damn Helen Mirren. See, that's Dame Helen Mirren. Sorry.
Everyone and their mother has already pointed out the uncanny resemblance between Marlowe and Helen Mirren. Like, just look at her. It is that obvious. And, okay, if you don't go with Helen Mirren, I put down two others. Who's Judi Dench, Maggie Smith. You need a respected British actress in this role. But really, let's be honest, you need Helen Mirren in this role. I mean, that's Helen Mirren. That is literally Helen Mirren. How can that not be Helen Mirren? Come on, she'll do it. She did that movie with the Winchester House. She's not getting the best roles these days. Just cast Helen Mirren because she's Helen effing Mirren. Okay, and the last two characters I want to talk about are Mr. and Mrs. Drake, who we never see Mr. and Mrs. Drake in the movie. In the game. We never see Nathan Drake's parents. From what we were told in the fourth game, or we're told this in later games, but basically Mrs. Drake was a legendary fortune hunter who ended up committing suicide early in Nathan's life, and then the father basically dropped the kids off at a boarding school orphanage and then sold all the mother's stuff, and just really not good father at all. And we don't know what happened in the mother's life, but if we see Mr. and Mrs. Drake, it would be a very, very brief, I think. I think the mother would be brief. The father, we might get a little bit more with him. So for Nathan Drake's father, people are going to be so angry, but I just can't resist. Cast Nathan Fillion. I think it would be just the most hilarious thing to see a bunch of fanboys lose their minds, and it would also be cool to see, hey Nathan Fillion, you got to be in an Uncharted movie after all, just not in the character you wanted to play. Also, if they wanted to do the great send-off, if you will, they could always get Nolan North and be like, hey, Nolan North is passing the torch on to the younger person. And then I needed a third person, so I threw a die and I landed on Richard Gere, basically. I don't know how I came to him, but I think he was the original choice for Sully at one point. So those are the 3 actors. And then Mrs. Drake, she would be like a small, very, very bit part, but the role that the person I thought of was Michelle Pfeiffer. She's not working enough. She's actually working a lot, but she's a great actress, and people need to recognize that she's a great actress. So it'd be nice to give her a little cameo here. And then I also said Emily Rose because, yay, Uncharted cameo. And I needed a third person, so I said Jennifer Morrison because I like Once Upon a Time. And she needs more work. So, yay, those are some of the people that I would like to see in the Uncharted movie. I don't know if you have any better casting decisions. I don't know who's going to be in the movie, not just in terms of actors, but in terms of characters. I don't know if any of these characters are going to be in the movie. Maybe it's just Nathan and Sully and then no one else from the games. But I don't know. Uncharted is known for its characters, and it would be great to see some of these characters make an appearance. I didn't say if there were a few I didn't say. I didn't say Talbot. I didn't say Flynn. I thought about Flynn. I think the challenge is we don't know, are they going to age down these characters to be closer to Tom Holland's age, or are they not going to age down these characters? And also there's a chance that they could add some new characters. So that's always going to be tricky. So, yeah, basically that's it. And what's the one thing I said I was going to save to the end of this video. So I found out a couple days ago that they are going to make an animated film based on To the Moon. And this is just amazing. I don't know when this is coming out. Obviously, animated movies take a long time to make. But if you've never played To the Moon, basically, a part of me is actually kind of disappointed that this isn't going to be live action, because if it were live action, then I'd say seriously watch out for it in Oscar top categories. But since it's animated, I have to say watch out for this in Best Animated Feature, because this is it's a very, very emotional story, a very tearjerker story, very beautiful story. And I think that with other video game movies, we've been sort of cautiously optimistic, like, I want it to be good, but video game movies don't have the right reputation. Like, you'd have to do it right. If special care would have to be taken, I really want it to be good. With To the Moon, it's like, how could you possibly screw this up? Like, you have to try to screw up To the Moon. It is practically a movie already. It's movie length. There's not a lot of interactivity in the game. And if you're doing an animated, and also, if you're doing an animated, it's going to look beautiful, but also, the original creator of the game, Can Gao, is involved in the writing process. So, honestly, I don't know when that's going to come out, but as soon as I find out the year, I don't think it's going to be 2018, so I'm not going to have it in Oscar predictions, but 2019 or possibly later, keep an eye out for To the Moon. Because if Uncharted, we'll wait to see what happens with Uncharted, but if it doesn't come out in time, then To the Moon is definitively going to be the first good video game movie. But I don't know which is going to come out first, but we're due for a good video game movie, and one of them has got to make waves. Okay, see you next time.